Hi everybody, this is Larissa from the Vegetarian Zen podcast, and in today's video we will be making almond milk. And this is something that we have talked about on our podcast and is super easy to do. And when you do it this way, you don't have all the additives and everything. Even if it's organic, they still have to add preservatives and things in the ones that you buy in the container in the store. So this is super simple to do. 3 ingredients, just a couple minutes, and you're done. Okay, so to make your almond milk, what you need is a cup of raw almonds washed. So these are just almonds that I just put in a strainer and ran water over them to wash them off. Okay, so that's a cup. And then you're going to want, this is using a Vitamix. If you have a blender, you can do this, but it takes an extra step because what you'll need to do with a regular blender, is soak these overnight so that they soften up a little bit. The Vitamix is so high powered that it just grinds everything to liquid anyway. So we're going to use the Vitamix. So for this you will need the 1 cup of almonds, and then this is just filtered water. It's a Brita pitcher that we use every day. So 3.5 cups of filtered water. So I'm just going to pour the water into the Vitamix up to 3.5 cups, which is about right there. And important, you want to pour your water in here first, because if you put your almonds in, it's going to displace the water and you're not going to have as much water as you think you have. So pour your water in first, and then just add your washed raw almonds. And then I like to add a little bit of honey. This is local wildflower honey from here in South Texas. You don't have to do honey, but it just sweetens it a little bit. You can also add things like cinnamon. You can add a little bit of vanilla, depending on what your tastes are. So just experiment with it. But I usually add just about a tablespoon of honey or so. I don't really measure. I just kind of pour a little bit. And that's it. So almonds, water, filtered water, honey, and then make sure you cover it or you'll have a mess. And then you'll just blend this in a Vitamix. It takes less than a minute. So just blend it, start it off on the variable speed on 1, then turn it up to 10, and then flip it to high, and keep it going for 30 to 60 seconds. Just kind of watch it, and it'll you'll see it'll have like little flecks of the almonds left in it, but it'll be mostly blended. Mostly smooth. So once you do that, then just shut it off, and I'm not going to blend it while the camera's running because it's going to be insanely loud. So we'll pause the camera, I'll go ahead and blend it, and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to strain it. Okay, so now we're back and our almond milk is blended, and you can see it's nice and frothy and white, but you can see the little flecks in there of the almond skins. So what you're going to want to do next is strain those out. So you can use cheesecloth, but I don't recommend it because cheesecloth tends to leak all over the edges and it makes a mess. So what I do recommend is this. This is this is called a nut milk bag, and mine is a nice kind of yellowy color now because I use it so much. But this is a nut milk bag. You can get them on Amazon. We have them in our Amazon store on our website, vegetarianzen.com. I've got a link to this one right here that I use, and it's wonderful. I love it. It's got a drawstring, and it's just a really, really fine mesh. So what you want to do then...
This is a fine mesh you got us into.
This is a fine mesh.
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Comments from the Peanut Gallery camera person. That was good. All right, so what you want to do is you want to get a pitcher that's big enough to hold this. And this is a wonderful pitcher. This is my Nana's old pitcher. And it's nice. I like it for this because it has a lip. And so what you're going to want to do is get a pitcher, put your nut milk bag inside, and then it has a drawstring, but the drawstring is not going to hold it completely because this stuff is heavy. So I usually get a rubber band and just rubber band it to give it a little extra holding there. So once you have that in there, you are ready to strain. So take your almond milk that you just made and just pour it into the bag. Ooh. So you can see that nice foamy, fresh milk there. And then we'll put that to the side. And then you can see that it's draining into your pitcher. So sometimes I'll let it sit for a little bit and drain on its own, but eventually what you're going to want to do is take this bag and hold on to it because it's going to want to fall in there. But remove your rubber band, pull the bag together. That's what the drawstring is for. And this is going to get messy. You're going to get your hands dirty. So make sure your hands are clean and then they'll get dirty. So you just want to start squeezing that through. And you can see it's foaming up. It looks nice. And it's going to run down the side of your pitcher like that. That's what sponges are for.
Do you need to squeeze that, or if you left it there, would it?
It would eventually drain, but it's not going to drain everything out. Especially if you have a pitcher like this one that's the bag hangs down into the milk because it's a long bag, and unless you have a really, really tall pitcher, it's eventually going to, the level of the milk in the pitcher is going to, come up over that bag, and then it's not going to drain anymore. So that's a good question. So just keep squeezing, keep squeezing. You can see that coming through there nicely. Keep squeezing. And then the really cool thing is that what you have left in this bag, once you're done, once you've removed as much milk as you can, what's left in this bag is almond meal. And that's, that's the ground up almonds. So you can take this almond meal and spread it out on some parchment paper on a baking sheet, put it in the oven on a low temperature, spread it out and just dry it. Check it stir it every 45 minutes or so, and just keep checking on it until it's dried out. Then put it back in your Vitamix or in a blender, if that's what you're using, and give it a good whir, or even in a food processor, and you'll have almond flour.
Hey, that sounds like another video.
It does sound like another video. I have some that I've already made, but I'll save this, and we can do a video on making almond flour. Okay, so now we've got that squeezed out, and you can see I'll reach in here and show you what you got left, and that's this right here. That's your almond meal. You can see how it still sticks together because there's moisture, but you've gotten the milk out of it. So I'm gonna put that to the side. My hands are milky. My counter is messy, but there's your almond milk right there. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed that little video on how to make almond milk, and here it is. It's nice and fresh, and this will keep in the refrigerator. What you want to do is put it in a jar, a glass jar with a lid, like a mason jar is good. I also use jars from Honey that I buy at the market, and but anything that has a glass jar with a lid that'll screw tight. Put it in there, store it in the refrigerator. It'll last 4 to 5 days. I would say. I mean, of course, in our house, it doesn't last that long. So 4 to 5 days, and don't keep it beyond that. So easy, you can make it every couple days, which is what I do. And I hope this has been helpful to you guys. We appreciate you watching us, and come back for the next video.